Welcome to Sport Beach at the Cannes Lion Festival 2024. So my name is Mines Etingue. I'm a leader in the customer and marketing space at Deloitte, and I'm very excited to have a wonderful group of leaders here in the marketing space. Alyson, do you want to start with a quick introduction?
Sure. I'm Alyson Harvey. I'm Director of eCommerce at SC Johnson.
My name is Cochrane. I'm the Global Art Director at Jordan Brand and Nike.
I'm Jonelle Brown. I'm the Director of Global Franchise Planning and Studio Marketing at Paramount.
Hi, and I'm Nadja Briscoe. I'm the Senior Product Manager at Johnson & Johnson MedTech Robotics.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me for a quick chat. I think it's an understatement to say that Gen AI is top of mind for marketers. And I think that has been the main conversation across Cannes this week. And I know that you work on a very innovative concept at the intersection between Gen AI, marketing, and DEI. Warren, do you want to give us a quick overview of what your concept is?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll give you the 30-second elevator pitch. So when we think about a lot of campaigns that have come out involving D&I and people of color, right, I think a lot of companies have found a lot of risk, and then as a result, they don't lean into D&I at all, right? So what we've been developing is the idea that we can do an app that generates success probability scores for campaigns considering these unique characteristics and asks of marginalized communities, so that the storytelling remains like hyper true and super accurate and a lot more fulfilling for the campaigns holistically.
Okay, great. Thank you. Anything you want to add, Nadja?
No, I think, as you mentioned before, I think there's really an opportunity to make a lot of more marketing campaigns more inclusive.
Yeah.
And I think, as we mentioned, a lot of the mishaps from some of the big brands, we think of Bud Light, we think of some of the other big campaigns that I've seen, what can happen if you are not authentic, if you're not clear on what your objectives are, and if you're not being true to what your target audience is, what that means from a brand perspective. So having an app that can really highlight some of your blind spots and some of the areas that you may be overlooking or the areas that you may not be authentic or won't resonate with your target audience, to help marketers think through that. That's really what was the thought process behind that.
Great. Jonelle, do you want to double click on the audience? I think I like what you said, Nadja, around making sure that marketing campaigns really address the key audiences. So what's the audience of your concept?
So the main audience for us would be either marketers or organizations as well as agencies.
Okay.
Right? So they're the ones who are filling out the briefs. They're the ones ideating and coming up with these campaign concepts, so they can leverage our app, blindspot.ai, to help guide them as they work through either brainstorms or storyboards, and there are several paths along the creative pipeline that they're able to revisit and have Blindspot help guide them along the way.
So it's really a tool that enables you to find blind spot and really optimize your campaign to be really more inclusive. And I think based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like there might be different entry points, right? One entry point could be obviously the CMO, could be the CFO, could be the Chief Data Officer. And I know that you guys have been working on a go-to-market strategy. Alyson, do you want to share your thought about the entry point? Is it more the CMO? Is it the CFO? Is it the Chief Data Officer? Is it everyone? How do you guys think about the main entry point to get your product in the marketplace?
I think that, obviously the CMO, but sometimes you want to get to the practitioners who would actually be using it first.
Okay.
So I think perhaps if there's an opportunity to connect with those brand managers, those folks that are actually going to be filling out the brief, and so that they can see the utility, sometimes it's best to sell by advocates within.
Okay. Yeah, make tons of sense. And you also want to diversify, right? That's what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was thrilled by your presentation yesterday. Yeah, thank you at Etingue Beach. It was very insightful. And I know that you've been also involved in a variety of conversations with leaders across the globe in the marketing landscape. What are the main takeaway for you, Nadja, from this week at the Cannes Lion Festival 2024?
I would think, obviously you mentioned AI is really a big topic, and you think from a creative lens and a creative standpoint, AI sometimes get a negative, spin on it, and it's so refreshing to see how people are embracing AI, really talking about what the capabilities of AI can do and what it can be for a lot of creatives, but then also leaning in on the fact that human ingenuity human decision making will always be at the forefront, right?
Okay.
And so I like that fresh perspective of it, because I know within the creative space there's been a lot of talk around intellectual property.
Yeah.
You know, what does this mean for artists? What does this mean for creatives? So to be in a space that is really about creative and see them embracing AI and really talking about how you can leverage it to be even more creative and to be even more successful in terms of your outcomes and your campaigns is so refreshing.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main surprises. I thought there'd be more about what are we going to do with AI? How are we going to deal with a lot of that? So that was cool.
Love that. Warren, anything you want to add?
Yeah, no, I love the idea of just quelling a little bit of those fears, right? I know that right now the adoption rate for AI amongst a bunch of companies are still in the single digits, right? So I think people are trying to crack that code. What is this? How will it revolutionize the way that we work?
Yeah.
And I think the main thing that I've been seeing is that we're going to use it as a tool, right? Instead of working 10 hours on a brief, maybe it comes down to a couple minutes, right? So that you can now take that time and use it for something a bit more creative.
Right.
And other tasks, as we know, as creatives and in marketing, you know, we get a lot of work. You know, we have a lot of work to do. So, you know, we can always just kind of, it seems like AI will be the way for us to optimize our time a bit better.
Awesome. Any closing words, Jonelle, Alyson?
Yeah, I would say, you know, just to sort of piggyback on what Warren was saying, you know, our tools is really a thought partner.
Yeah,
Like we're not looking to replace anyone,
Yeah.
but it is something to help enhance, you know, the current work that's being done.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.